Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing today? We feeling like we've got a bit more energy yet, or are we still struggling? Yeah. Well, we've got a ways to go in our 30 days of energy boosting tips. So keep playing along. Let me know how you're feeling, if you're starting to feel a shift in your energy, or if you're still having a hard time. Let me know in the comments. And I will continue to give you these tips. So let me ask you a quick question today as we get started. Have you noticed that when you're tired, mentally, physically, and emotionally, all of the three, that you crave comfort food? You notice that, right? You want like the chocolate or the potato chips, or you want the mashed potatoes or the bowl of pasta. Like we just, when we're stressed and anxious and exhausted, we tend to crave those kinds of foods. But the question is, are those foods draining your energy even more, or are they refueling you? So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today, is just understanding, and we're kind of going to go into organic food versus conventionally grown food. And is there a difference? Is there one that is going to give you more energy than the other? Stay tuned, because I think you might be surprised. Hello there. I'm your host, Karen Del Maestro. You can find me over at KarenDelMaestro.com or in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community. If Facebook plays along nicely, which some of you may or may not realize, but Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp were down for hours yesterday, causing havoc among the world. So anyway, when Facebook is up and working, then you can find me over in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community. I am your self-care coach. I'm a breast cancer and BRCA2 thriver, and we are here for these 30 days talking about energy boosting tips. Why? Because I know firsthand, but also because of the hundreds of breast cancer survivors that I work with, how hard it is after our treatment is over, when we're expecting to just be able to jump back into our pre-cancer lives, and we are hit with this wave of exhaustion. And I'm not talking the kind of exhaustion that goes away after a nap, right? You know that. You're noticing that. You're waking up tired. You're feeling tired throughout the day, no matter how well you have slept. And what this shows me is, yes, there is an element of fatigue that's always going to be there as a breast cancer survivor. But that doesn't mean that we have to suck it up and just accept it, when there are so many things that we can do. And that's the point of this series of 30 things. There are so many things that we can do that are quick, easy, inexpensive, yet effective. Don't confuse the simple for ineffective, because they are not. And what I have learned in my 20 years of working in the health and wellness industry is that simple is where it's at, right? If it's complex, we're not going to do it. So we need to be masters of these simple tips to really make a difference. So let's dive in. And if you're on, say hi. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're on live, don't forget to grab your energy boosting calendar to follow along with us as we go through our journey. I'll make sure that you have the link to grab that if you haven't yet. So let's talk about organic produce versus conventional produce. Is there one that is better for you when it comes to your energy? And the answer is a very clear yes. And let me explain why. Okay. I'm asked all the time, Karen, do I have to buy organic food? You don't have to do anything. I'm not the boss of you. You can do whatever you would like to do. However, I see that my role is to let you know the impact of those choices on your health and well-being, on your body, on your energy levels, right? So that you can make an informed choice for yourself. My goal is to empower you to make the choices that work best for you in your life. I don't get to make those choices for you. Nobody gets to make those choices for you. Only you do, which is pretty cool. Can sometimes feel scary too, but it's cool. Trust me. So let's talk about this for a second. So Conventionally grown produce, fruits and veggies, right, are often covered in herbicides for weeds, pesticides for pests and insects, to keep these things at bay so that the food can grow without these pests, for want of for lack of a better word. Um, but what is not really talked about a whole lot is the impact that those chemicals can have on your health and well-being. Now, many of them are known carcinogens. So many of them are known cancer-causing chemicals, number one. Number two, many of them are also hormone disrupting chemicals. So for those of you that had hormone receptive breast cancer, I did. This is an area that is also really important. You know, anything that's going to be disrupting our hormones is going to affect every single function in our body. Number two. Number three, these pesticides and herbicides that are used on conventionally grown produce are often also causing chronic fatigue. So here we are talking about energy. And if we are eating something that's causing chronic fatigue, are we not going to have to work that much harder to get our energy back? You betcha we are. So just so you know, that those are, that's a very brief overview. You know, pesticides and herbicides are known causes of inflammation, which is the root cause of every single serious disease. So there are many reasons that we want to be avoiding these pesticides and herbicides. But as I said, we're talking about energy right now this month, right? So what can we do instead, right? And people ask me all the time, Karen, is it worth paying the money for organic? Is organic really organic, or are they just putting a sign on it and charging more for it? And here's the deal. I actually have had some really cool conversations with supermarket owners, managers over the years, where I have asked these exact same questions, because how could we not be skeptical about it, right? And I was told each and every time that the implications for any of these major supermarkets, if they are selling organic produce and it's not really organic, they get massive, massive fines, massive. And so, you know, a couple of the managers that I spoke to both said there's no way that they would ever consider doing that, because they, you know, would risk losing their job and these massive fines, and just, you know, it's just, so I think that as much as we can with confidence say, okay, if it says organic, then it really is. Here's a little tip, by the way, don't tell anybody. The SKU number on any organic produce starts with a 9. So if you're not sure, look for that 9 on the little sticky label that they put on the produce, right? Who knew? I didn't know that for years, but now you know. So that's a little tip. Another thing is to shop your local farmers markets and things like this. Talk to your farmers. Are they farming organic? They may be farming organic, but may not have the money to get certified as organic, right? There's a lot of regulations that you have to go through to be certified organic. Now, there are some quick cheats as well. Okay, we don't have to buy everything organic. There is something out there by the Environmental Working Group known as EWG.org. You can visit their website, amazing resource for all things toxins. They do such a phenomenal job. But they put something out every year called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. These are the 12 fruits and vegetables most affected by pesticides. So if nothing else, right, we're all on a budget these days, you know, budget has to come into play. These are the 12 things that I would urge you to buy organic, the 12 things that are on that Dirty Dozen list. The Clean 15, on the other hand, these are the 15 that are least affected by pesticides and herbicides, and so that you can more confidently buy them conventionally, right? So ultimately, do you need to buy everything organic? No, you don't. You don't. But you want to be buying those 12 things on that list that are organic. Now, as with most things, I have a little Karen hack to share with you. Because you know what? You may not have that list at hand, or you might forget what's on it, or you may not remember where to find it. So here's my hack for what to buy organic. Okay. Think about when you're looking at a fruit or vegetable, are you eating the whole thing? So if we think of an apple or a strawberry or any berries for that matter, right, we're going to eat the whole thing, right? So we want to make sure that there's no pesticides and herbicides that are harmful on the exterior of that fruit, because no matter how well you wash it, those things will have absorbed into the fruit or vegetable as well, right? So if you're eating the whole thing, then I recommend getting organic. If, however, you're looking at something that's like a banana or a pineapple or an orange or an avocado or an onion, things where the skin is intact, it's fairly thick, it's not very permeable, then these are things that I would be more comfortable buying conventional if I had to make a choice. Does that make sense? Feel free to drop any questions or comments below if this is not making sense, or if you want to learn more about it. Then please, drop a note before. So again, if we go back to why is organic versus conventional even important? Those conventionally grown produce are sprayed with harmful chemicals that cause chronic fatigue, hormone disruption, can be carcinogenic, and can cause inflammation. Major reasons why we do not want to be eating these foods. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're next heading to the store, whether you're shopping online or heading into the store yourself. Think about, what am I going to choose that's going to serve me and make me feel more energized? What am I going to put into my body that's going to help me and fuel me versus drain me? Right? It makes sense, right? When you think of it like that. So yes, we've got this underlying level of fatigue. But if you think about how often we are eating each and every day, what we eat matters, because that's either going to suck you dry even more, or it's going to help give you that nourishing, refueling energy boost that we're all looking for. It's that simple. Doesn't need to be complicated. We're buying the food anyway. Yes, you may be on a budget. I get that. I do. All we can do is the best that we can. Okay, so don't forget, this is day 5 in our energy boosting tips. Don't forget to grab your calendar so that you can play along. And by the way, once you grab the calendar, you'll also get these daily tips into your email. So sometimes that's easier than trying to, go to different places and follow along. So these are especially for my friends, breast cancer survivors out there. This is my gift to you guys for October. And I hope that you're finding them helpful. So that's it for today. Again, my name's Karen Del Maestro. I'm your self-care coach, breast cancer and BRCA2 thriver. And you can find me over at KarenDelMaestro.com or in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community. Bye for now, guys. I'll see you tomorrow with another energy boosting tip. Have an amazing, amazing day.